Hey, it is us. We're here. We're back in Kansas City. We just came back from the Million Man March. This is a special edition. You know, we wasn't gonna do a show, but we had to because just to tell you our thoughts from what we've been doing over the weekend. I'm JT. This is my homeboy. Say something like me.
What it do?
And that's what he says. Million Man March edition, brother.
Yep.
DC. It was a good trip going. You know, the plane was good. Mike Beat had some reservations. You know, I think he had his Bible in his hand while we were traveling. You know, and his peace beads. But
peace beads. I don't know if I ever heard that. Man, I don't think I'll ever get used to flying.
That's something. You know, I can believe it. Mike.
What?
Mike treated the stewardess were the bartenders for Mike B on the plane. They you know.
I was trying to do whatever I can to relax. I feel like the next time I try to go out of town, I'm gonna talk to my doctor for some like anxiety pills because I'll be too nervous and too panicky.
You know, so that's what I say. You know, I try not to like sleep before I get on the plane, so I know once I get on that plane, I'll shut down, and I have some music in my ear, and I'm all right. But anyway, after we did that, it was cool. We met up with our homeboy Kadar. That we I think he was in a couple of videos that we did that while we were out there.
Yeah,
and it was a good time had by y'all. We what was that, Thursday when we got up there? Mm-hmm. We didn't do nothing Thursday. Friday, we took a little day trip to New York City. We drove up there. That was a night. I didn't know that traffic was going to be like that.
Man,
but it was somewhat serious. Them tolls. That was half my money, my expense.
Paying toll.
It was a good okay, let's go ahead and go to go to New York for a day trip.
It's only 3 hour, 4 hour drive.
Yeah. Oh, it's nuts. I'm thinking Kansas City to St. Louis type deal. It ain't okay. Let's go. It's quick. We can do it and come back.
Yeah.
But I know they was gonna tax me when how much was it?
It was at least probably $40-something at least.
At least.
At one point we were in New York. It seemed like. Mm-hmm. And we had to pay like a $10 toll, whip around this little corner, and then had to pay $14. Dang!
I'm like, how much does it cost for that little span of to repave that shit? I'm like, is this the danger zone or something? Do you be doing Grand Prix around this? All we did was, like you said, a little U-turn,
we just whipped
and
around.
we paid $14. I remember while we was going. We didn't know the total. We gave. I whipped out a 5.
Yeah, because
I'm thinking
for the first leg of the trip, it seemed like every toll was like $4, maybe a $6, and then they just knew they had the money.
I gave 5. I gave it to my homeboy Kadar. He gave it to her, and she looked at it, and we like.
Waiting on some change.
Yeah, I'm waiting on change. She was like, no, $12. I'm like,
$12.55.
I'm like, hold up. That man, I for sure I thought I was getting changed, and we just sit there, like
we go into New York. We go into New York. Shoot, by the time we finished paying them tolls, we probably should have thought this out a little bit more. Like, shoot, I'm never going back to New York.
Not driving at least.
And see,
I'm going to touch down in New York.
Yeah, that bus sounded,
oh man!
After all those tolls we paid, and then parking. Once we got there, that was crazy. Just driving in New York, man, I was so nervous.
It's no holds barred. Once you get there, get in where you fit in,
and that's how everybody. That's how everybody drive. That's how everybody drive.
That's how they walk. If you don't get in, you better tell a buddy to keep on moving. Cause you get lost.
It was so uncomfortable. Just being like I don't understand how people live in New York. Well, me, y'all know I don't really like too many people.
You know.
But just being in New York and everybody's so aggressive. Everybody's like, if you don't know where you're going, people are waiting on the curb for the stoplight to change, but they on the street. They in the street and cars can't get by, and they wishing you say something. Honk if you want to. I mean, I know somebody's gonna whip out a pistol and pop it off.
We up there walking through the streets because we went there. We took a trip to Harlem, and we walking, and I'm just at a steady pace, and I'm like, okay, I'm looking back, might be about 20 feet behind me. I'm like, can you move? I'm just watching. I'm just looking. I'm like, man, come on. You got. I don't know where you were.
Well, I always am in police mode as well. Paper the scene, making sure nothing pops off.
But you ain't the judge and jury of everything that go on, brother.
Hey, that's just my mindset. I got even on the plane. That's why I can't relax, because I'm watching everybody, making sure nothing pops off. On the street, I'm making sure ain't nobody stealing nobody's wallet, because I kept thinking that we was gonna get mugged. For some reason, I kept thinking we was gonna get mugged.
Who is citizen on patrol?
Hey. Anyway,
you can't even enjoy. You watching everybody else.
Yes, that's my problem. I said I don't need to. If I took more trips, I'd probably be skinny like this, just out of just nervousness, anxiety, can't sleep, worried about what everybody else is doing. Ain't nobody got time for that. Anyway.
But we did what we did. We got a little something from there. Went to the Apollo, took a couple pictures. Did the tourist thing. And then that was Friday, and then Saturday that brings us to the march, and it was a good day. Mm-hmm. It was a good day. You really had no qualms. Everybody was lovey dovey.
It was semi weird, especially for me because I'm not accustomed to being around a lot of people.
Yeah, we know that.
And the fact that you got all of these people, nobody's causing trouble. Everybody appears to be unified and on one accord, and just there for the movement.
It was like everybody had one focus.
Yes,
and that was it. Wasn't it wasn't extra. Mm-hmm. It wasn't that hood shit or quote unquote black shit going on. Mm-hmm. Everybody was there for one reason and one reason only, justice or else. And we as soon as we took the train, we didn't stay all the way in DC. We took the train there, and as soon as we get off, I mean it was people, those vendors.
Yeah.
They was $10 t-shirts, 2 for $15, 5 for I don't know what they were selling.
Hustling, yeah.
Getting anything, pins, stickers, knapsacks, tote bags,
everything. They was prepared. They was ready.
They were prepared. They got me. I got one.
You got more than one.
I did. I caught them. The 2 for $15. Yeah. Quick. Let me get this. And I should have stayed. I should have did like my homeboy. But I was like, cause I was hoping that nope.
What?
I'm thinking, I wish I had waited.
Until
but then if I waited, I was thinking like maybe they ain't gonna have this shit no more.
Right.
And so I went ahead.
And a lot of vendors after the march or after the message, a lot of them were just
trying to get rid of it.
But they were out of a lot of sizes. So
yeah. And so I wanted to do what I do. But anyway, we there. Tell them what your song might be. Give them your perspective. I don't want to give them too much of mine. Give them your perspective.
Like once we got off the train. Once we got off the train, we ran into the vendors, and we're basically just following the crowd. We were, I want to say, like 5 or 6 blocks away from the National Mall, mm-hmm. where the speech was going to take place. But as you got closer and closer, you're seeing all of these different people, and not everybody was black. And I expected to see like a bunch of just dudes, but you saw a lot of women there too that are standing in the gap for a lot of their
like this time it was like everybody was invited. It wasn't just like a million man march for just like black dudes, black men. Women was involved, children was involved.
I seen a lot of
different nationalities were involved.
Yeah.
We were tired of this bullshit that we've been living under.
Yeah. And as we got closer to we started hearing almost immediately. We started hearing people on the intercoms or the PA systems. What do you call it? Just the speakers.
The speakers.
Different people presenting. I think one of them was the mayor of Washington D.C. was saying something. We had Pastor Jamal Bryant that was there.
He was basically the semi-MC.
Pastor Jamal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, once everything was really getting close to Farrakhan. But when we first was coming off the train and going to the street, the different blocks, you started hearing the different speeches. I remember the first dude we heard, it seemed like he was just yelling. Mm-hmm. He had a message, but I couldn't hear it because he was doing too much. It seemed like he wasn't.
I think he was excited, and he was trying to get us excited, but we couldn't hear him. So people weren't really responding to what he was saying.
Yeah,
I will say that a lot of the women that were speaking,
that's what got me to start hearing. The women were clear, precise in what they wanted to get across, and and everybody and people was feeling them.
Yeah.
That's what started getting me to listen to. Because you're looking at all the fanfare, going around. The people, the vendors, and everything, and semi-protest, the signs and whatnot, and but what we here for, for what they actually have to say, and
right.
That's what put my antenna up when some of the women came up,
right? Because we can hear, and
they were clear and they were speaking that truth. They were doing what they were supposed to do, and so
now one of the speakers. They invited, I believe it was some Native Americans.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this lady I don't think she was part of the Native American crew, but right before they started speaking, there was this one lady who got up there, and we were actually leaving to go and try to find something to eat from one of the vendor carts. And all we kept hearing is she tried to get everybody to start a chant, with her, talk about down with USA. I'm looking back like, is that what she want to say? Like,
you heard about a few people, go with it, but everybody else like, nigga, I gotta live here.
Yeah, like hold on, like
just as else, but
did they approve this speech?
My rent is due next month.
It seemed so weird, but she had a message, but it seemed weird. Down with the USA, and she was trying to get everybody on board, and I guess she assumed that since we black folk, we pissed off, but we they didn't say that. They said some other stuff, but they not down with USA. Like I live here.
Oh man! Crazy. Speaking of the vendors, that we took a break and we went and found something to eat. And that's when I took a turn. But that wasn't it yet. But I ordered a couple of hot dogs and a water. I think Mike B ordered the same thing, and our homeboy. He was at some other truck, and so we go back and we wait. We going and waiting on Farrakhan to speak, and he finally gets up. Like you said, Jamal Bryant. Well, first it was a lady that sung. Did they ever say? I'm pretty sure they said her name, but I don't know. And it was a choir behind it.
Yeah. Oh, they did good.
They were awesome.
And I do have some video of them performing, which we tried to vlog for the first time while we were down there. I did just regular vlogging.
Yeah.
JT
Periscope.
was on Periscope vlogging, so I'm going to try to compile those videos and post those a little later this week. I did get video of her speaking. The lady in the choir singing. They did a really good job. But we also got to hear from the families of some of the victims that we all know about, like the mother of Trayvon Martin. We got to hear from the father of Michael Brown. We got to hear from the sister of Sandra Bland, and I think there were a couple more people that we heard from.
It was a couple of victims,
Yeah, it was very, very inspiring. I feel like we were supposed to be mad. You know what I mean? Because of the reason that we were here. Like, we were here because we can't get no justice. And I think when Minister Farrakhan was speaking, he kind of spoke to that. Like, we want, and I guess we'll talk about it later when we talk about him, but
go ahead.
We want justice from people who don't see justice the same way as we do.
Yeah.
So it's
they're going through their everyday lives, or you can call it, white privilege, for lack of a better word. That's basically what it is. They live in a different world than minorities, and and we're treated a different way And you know they thinking everything is just lovey-dovey, la-di-da. You know, let's go on. You know, slavery was back then, but no, you reaping the benefits of slavery, and still are. And I mean, and it's like it's there. It's not like it's like waned somewhat. No, you still, for the most part, still have an advantage, like for a big advantage. You know, and it's been since 65, 64 when they did the Civil Rights Bill, and we still living like this, and we still have to have marches. You know, 95 we try to do something, and 20 years later we still. It's even more aggression now than 20 years later. We shouldn't be having these problems in, you know, these United States.
We wouldn't think.
You know, and when, you know, Farrakhan did, you know, he talked about some good things and different perspectives, you know, and he was talking about, and he really didn't even, I wouldn't say shit on white folk, because he said, you know, there are good-hearted, you know, white people out there. It's just them, the ones that's running the country. They got, you know, that got to deal with us. You know, they're the ones that's, you know, really not
that we have to deal.
You know, they playing around. You know,
he didn't. The one thing that I liked about his speech is that he didn't just focus on black versus white.
Yeah,
he focused on like the stuff that we need to do as black people in order to better ourselves. Like he talked about, you know, women stop referring to themselves as
bitches.
Yes. And men quit referring to women as that. He talked about how women are queens. He talked about how we need to get into our own neighborhoods and start cleaning up our own communities. Not from just, you know, the abuse of police officers, but from the abuse of ourselves. You know, the people out here that wants to sell the drugs and want to, you know, steal and kill. You know, we need to go in there and
let's break from that norm.
Yes, let that not be the stereotype. We need to change ourselves. He said we also need to focus on forgiveness. Yeah. And I know that really kind of hit home with me because I am number one when it comes to holding a grudge.
Yeah, they call you grudge man.
I'm just being honest. So it's like, you know, especially when it's something petty and something small, you got to learn to forgive your brother. You'll forgive this other person that you don't really know before you forgive your brother for something
right in front of you.
That's right in front of you that you are tied to, that you know, say you love. So I mean, he talked about a lot of good stuff. Some of the stuff I didn't, you know, I couldn't relate to because I didn't really understand. Because he started talking about, like, you know, the religion that he's in, and, you know, relating it to the Quran or whatever. And I just don't know, you know, what it was. But I feel like he did a really good job. He talked about the government, you know, and, you know, how they always talking, like, if you got so much bad shit to say about America, why don't you, you know, go somewhere, go home, get out. He said, I ain't going nowhere. He said America was built off the backs of us. Yeah. So why should I leave?
Why I need to leave?
Why should I leave? I mean, he made a lot of good points.
We your battery. Basically.
We are what keeps America going.
We keep as long as we here, it's gonna keep going and going like what Duracell.
Now, and one you know, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say about Minister Farrakhan. One thing that I really kind of related to is the fact that he said that we as black people have become so fearful when it comes to just dealing with people, dealing with each other, dealing with, you know, other races. Like we are so afraid to not, you know, make a mistake, or so afraid to say the wrong thing. Like we've been conditioned to be this way.
Have your own mind.
It's crazy that when you look around, even when we were at the Million Man March and there was so much unity, so much love, because we even ended it, you know, everybody's hugging everybody. It was beautiful. I was still able to recognize that there are brothers and sisters here that still don't get it.
Oh no.
And you know, even there was like a guy and a girl who were like arguing back and forth or whatever while we were there.
I was so ready. It seemed like that was the only semi-negative thing that, you know, they're a few feet away from us, and they was just going back at some drunk dude.
Yeah,
you know he was drunk.
Why come here when
and
you know?
And his ignorant sister, because you know it was two wrongs. Yeah, and neither one was making it right. And I'm like, and everybody, you know, and nobody was really, you know, because everybody was peaceful. Nobody was really, you know, we was hoping that they'll handle it themselves. Okay, you agree to disagree, whatever was going on, and keep it moving. They held it on for about a damn near 30 minutes of just some.
Yeah, like every amen that she would do, he had something to say about it. Like
neither one wanted to back down, and neither one was petty. Like actually talking about nothing. Talking about shit. It was a good day.
But that a lot of people, even though they attended the Million Man March, it was a good thing for people to be there because we needed to represent. But that some people went home and then just forgot about the real reason that they were there.
Yeah.
I mean, you could. I don't know if you could, but I could see certain people, like in their demeanor during the speech, like I already see that it's going over your head, or you're not really paying attention to what he's saying, and you're not taking it in.
I could believe that. It was something different that that we were exposed to, but I think it was a good day, and for the most part, and it's sad that when we got in there. Going closer and closer, we stopped getting, like internet,
because we wanted to
reception.
Live.
We wanted, we was gonna do, Periscope on there, and we couldn't. Nobody had until you got like out of the crowd into the somewhat street. Then you could get reception, but while you was inside that crowd, you couldn't have reception. We couldn't, Facebook with nobody, text mix. I said text mix, text anybody, or and then we learned like once we get out, like they really didn't have no coverage of the Million Man March.
Yeah,
that my cousin, my mother, my family, like we didn't see nothing.
Now, and that doesn't make any sense to me.
They didn't see no type of
nobody cared. And then, I expected to hear or see a lot more hype from just celebrities.
Yeah.
And I didn't see too many celebrities that were actually there.
I didn't see them, but of course after we kind of got out of it once it was somewhat over. Then we hearing or seeing pictures of somewhat different celebrities. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, nowadays, man, you ain't gonna see too many celebrities down for the cause. It's gonna break into their pockets, and so they're if it's breaking my ends, then I'm not in it, and I ain't got no voice, and that's how I feel, because you in the same boat, right. You a minority, once they want to clip you off, they gonna clip you off and have no qualms about it. I don't care if you the whoever, as far as being black. Mm-hmm. Once they done with you, they done. Ain't nothing.
It's not saying that every black person has to show up to every black event. That's not what I'm saying. I expect a little bit
better showing,
because this is a historic event, and this means something, because when injustices happen, y'all want to hashtag, and y'all want to say something. Some of y'all.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that. You don't get too many of them.
But then when it's something like this, when you're trying to, see what we can do as a people to better ourselves and not have to rely so heavily on other people to help fix us.
Hey, it's breaking
then, nobody wants to, show up.
It's breaking
So, shout out to, I saw Snoop Dogg, I saw Yandy. Well, I heard Snoop Dogg was there. He talked about going there. Yandy and Mendeecees from Love and Hip Hop New York were there. Yeah. I think J. Cole made a showing.
Well, Puff there.
I think they said Puff.
But they said Revolt actually broadcast, okay. And I think C-SPAN did it, because that's what C-SPAN do.
But you would expect,
but everything else, we didn't see no news trucks, even local news. I didn't see nobody, because
I wanted to see like an aerial shot of how many people were there. I didn't see nothing.
If it was a helicopter, it would be just for
probably security.
Yeah, ready to do something.
And we did see a couple helicopters, and we assumed that it was news. But then when we get back to the hotel, and nobody was talking about it.
Nobody was talking.
And like that aerial view that people keep posting is from '95.
Yeah,
I still haven't found
that picture you see on Facebook.
2015.
That's not 2015. That's 20 years ago. You don't see nothing.
Yeah, because the Capitol looking all nice, and I'm like, what happened to the construction that's going on top of the Capitol? Because the pictures hold.
Nah.
And I think I asked you, like, why President Obama ain't here? But then once Minister Farrakhan started talking, I'm like, okay.
I told Mike B, I'm like, he talking about
the government,
the president's employer,
mm-hmm.
and so he ain't, it wouldn't be. Then he'll be really before the cause.
Yeah. But
it would have been good for him to go
year.
Israel last year. I would have came.
Yeah.
And said, "Hey, I'm here, cause you're gonna be a civilian in a year." But he's just president, so he gonna be cool.
Yeah.
I guess we're gonna have to do another video, brother, for the rest of the trip. This video just our thoughts on the march itself. It was like I said, it was a good day.
Mm-hmm.
That many people, and you don't hear. If something one little fight would have broke out,
you probably
that's
heard
right.
about it.
That's when the news
coverage would have
as soon as bitch you hey, get the news coverage. Get it
now they had security, they had police everywhere, and that it was weird. Like Farrakhan talking about the police, and police is there having to protect everybody. I thought that was a little bit weird.
Yeah, but
it was still very peaceful.
It was
even
positive,
throughout,
very positive.
What he was saying, and the stuff that
quiet.
People were attentive.
People were quiet. I'm like, I can't believe this. That's what we need, people. Just like one focus, and we can do big things. But until that focus is there, it's a wrap. And I know the Parrot that be, they didn't like that. They didn't like that showing that we had on Saturday. I'm glad I was there. I'm glad I witnessed it.
Because if we weren't, we wouldn't know anything about it.
Yeah,
considering nobody covered.
Yeah, we would have been in the same boat as everybody else. What happened? What? It was a good day. If you would have heard anything else negative, they lying. Because it was good. Positivity. Nobody was. Everybody was on chill.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody. You don't get that. You don't see that.
Right.
With black folk, or what they tell us. That's it. We're gonna come with you, for another video, and this is just the Million Man March, but we gonna come with another quickie, so that's gonna tell our adventures
throughout DC.
Throughout DC, and
now don't forget about the vlog that's coming as well, where you can hear us talk about what we're seeing. Also, video clips of some of the speeches, some of the people. Just wait.
We'll give you a little something of our experiences and our view take. Might be. Till next time, we should be very short.